Week 5 of the fantasy basketball season's here, but here's a few forwards that shouldn't be on your roster this week. The first one's Robert Covington of the Portland Trailblazers. It's been a bad season here for Covington with his new ball club, and he struggled mightily so far this year. Is Covington on the season? He's averaging 6.5 points a game, 6 rebounds and assists, 1.4 steals a game, 1.6 threes, but he's hurting you big time from the field, 29%. So Covington, he can't find it. He's not shooting the basketball well. And I know he helps in other stat categories, but right now you can find a bunch of guys better on the waiver wire than Covington. Now with Nurkic out, he might get more touches, but still, if I could find better options, I would drop him, because now it's been a month that the season's been going, and Covington, he just can't find the groove with these stats that are way down from last season for him. Last season, he shot from the field 42%, which isn't all that great, but right now it's at an awful 29. He did average 12.5 points a game last year, and this year only 6.5, and he added 2.3 threes a game, and this year 1.6. At Covington, he's not fitting with his team. He's in a bad scoring drought, and right now I would drop him. The second forward is Jay Crowder of the Phoenix Suns. I would drop. The Suns, they haven't played a game in a while now, and Jay Crowder, he's still owned in 36% of fantasy leagues, but they haven't played since January 11th. It's been a week ago already, and on the season, he's been inconsistent as well. Crowder, 10 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 85% from the line, and only 40% from the field, so his production hasn't been that great with Crowder. He's been an inconsistent player, and he's the 4th or 5th option on this team here in Phoenix. He's just more of a catch-and-shoot three-point type of guy nowadays, and he'll get you a few rebounds, but I don't think he'll have much of an impact this season for fantasy owners. And on the year, he's ranked 133. If I would drop him, the next guy I would drop is Darius Bazley, the OKC Thunder. Bazley, he's been up and down this year, but that's what you expected with growing pains, with youngsters on a team rebuilding. And Bazley this season, he's averaging 10.4 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, assist and a half a game, 1.3 threes, but another guy with a horrible shooting percentage, 37% from the field. And right now, Bazley, he's in a shooting slump. A couple owners have gone out there and dropped him already in fantasy leagues. His ownage has gone down 3%. He's still owned in 50% of leagues. So deep leagues, 14 teams or deeper, you probably keep him. But 10 and 12 team leagues, he's definitely worth the drop. He's not doing much to help your team with mediocre stat lines and very poor field goal percentage. And the fourth and final forward I would drop this week's Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets. Bridges, he's been up and down this season as well. One good game, 2 bad games for Bridges. That's just how it seems like it's going. And he's another guy, 14 teams or deeper, you hold on to him. But 10-team leagues or less and 12, you get rid of him. Bridges on the season, 9.3 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 2 assists to steal a game, a nice 93% from the line, 44 from the field, and 1.5 threes a game. But besides that, his points from last season have dropped, and he's just not scoring the basketball good enough. And obviously with LaMelo Ball, they have P.J. Washington and Terry Rozier and Devonta Graham. A lot of opportunities for Bridges this season aren't going to be there like they were in last. And right now, he's another guy only owned in 50% of fantasy leagues. So Miles Bridges, I would get away from him if there's better options on the wire. So there's a few forwards I would drop here heading into week 5 of the fantasy basketball season.